parked the car, here, coming off the car where the car deflected off of the street. Right. And you can see where the car went through the light post, because the light post, of course, they removed it yesterday, went straight through this way. Right.
And that's what burned.
And that's what burned.
Hey, Roxy, Steve. So there's no question.
Those skid marks have nothing to do with this accident. There's only one car involved, because when they went past me, it was only within 2 minutes that this explosion happened. There were no other cars going up, down. You couldn't hear any other cars or anything.
So, okay, best guess. If you're an explosion, you're either going at a high rate of speed, car goes out of control, like up here, and that's what happened. But then it had to be going on plus.
Well, I can't speculate on that. Based on the damage. Based on the damage, they were traveling at some kind of speed, yes. Racing, the speculation of another car coming in, that's hearsay. I already spoke with the officers and asked them, and they said they don't even believe that there was another car involved in this at this time. And that's what the officers said when I just spoke to them right when I met you. You know, I'm trying to get into this because they were good friends, they were good people. They don't deserve to have accusations thrown at their families or anybody else saying they were reckless. They should have never done this. Well, it happened. Okay, Paul Walker and Roger were good friends. They were best friends. If Paul didn't trust Roger, he never would have gotten in the car with him. Both of them are professional race car drivers. They both have their race cars in their warehouse. From the Porsches to the Mustang Same is what they race. So they knew how to drive a Porsche and they knew how to drive the Mustang Same. How far away is their garage? If you put the camera over here, and you see where that white trailer is, that building right behind there is their garage. They were heading back towards their shop.
No? Superman and then this.
Thank you.
When you look at this outpouring of support,
it makes me feel really good because everybody's missing them. I mean, I was here and Tyrese showed up yesterday and he was mobbed. And, you know, of course all the media wanted to know because they're high celebrities, you know. He was here and he started crying and he walked away and I was touched by it. Several celebrities were here yesterday driving by. And, I mean, you look at this, it's heart-taking because that's Pure 6, which is out I just saw last week. And then to see Paul on top of Paul and joke around with them and have this happen 20 minutes later. I'm still, it's like a dream. But it did. Thank you guys. Yeah. I gotta do this fast. I gotta get out of here. Right. Let's get everything on. If everybody wants to do this, do it all the same time.
That's what you see.
worth of toys for you know, the organization called Road. They were winding down. They were parking their cars in the warehouse. They were taking this car out for a drive. Paul Walker wanted to get into the car and go for a drive. As you see some of the pictures that are on Facebook and Twitter and everything now, that is Paul Walker getting into the car. They came past us. They said we'll be back in 5 minutes. I was standing with Paul Walker's stunt driver and another good friend of ours that had a Ferrari. We were laughing because we were listening to the exhaust on the Porsche, comparing it to the Ferrari that was next to us and comparing it to the Ford. And when they pulled out of the parking lot, they were going slow. There was a highway patrolman at the end of the street, so there's no way they were able to speed away. They were gone for, you know, a short while, and when they came back around the loop, when they passed us by, they were coming. They made their turn up this loop because you can see them from over here where the event was, and you can hear the exhaust. You know, they got on it in a little bit, and I heard two booms. The first boom to me sounded like a tire that blew, but I don't know. I wasn't there. I couldn't see it, but it sounded like when you fill up a tire, when it blows. That's what it sounded like before I heard the loud bang when the car actually hit the pole. So, and the pole, unfortunately, is standing right behind us that they hit. I called my son. I said, and Brandon, he was right in front of me. I said, hey, get a fire extinguisher, get up the street. He goes, why? I said, I think Paul Walker and Roger were in a bad car accident. He goes, what makes you think that? And I said, look at the smoke. He got a fire extinguisher and took off, came up here. He was one of three to start putting the fire out. A&E, the employees, they said, oh, you know, don't worry about the fire. It's the special effects behind us. They do that all the time because they do. They blow things up and there's always smoke. It's hard to say because I was trying to talk to him with compassion, knowing in my heart that I know that they got in a bad car accident. I went up to Eric, one of Paul's friends, and Newt, and I said, guys, I know they're in a car accident. Will you please take off? My friend in the Ferrari says, Jim, I'll go up and I'll look. When he took off, Eric took off in his car. Newt was in it. They came up here. They saw the car was smoking. They started putting a fire extinguisher on it because they saw small flames. Newt was trying to get Paul Walker out of this car, his best friend, before the car blew up. When the car engulfed in flames, the police department was fighting with Newt, one of Paul Walker's friends, to get him out. Newt, of course, wanted to die with his friend. He didn't want his friend to burn to death. Well, they put him in, they detained him and put him in the back seat because they didn't want another body dying out of this.
Excuse me, sir. A lot of speculation today about how this crash happened. One of the things is that car is so powerful. Should it have been out on the road?
Well, the car was street legal. It had California plates. I was there when another Porsche was being delivered to him that day. They took this car for a test drive. They were going to take the other car out for a test drive. Paul and both Roger, they were car enthusiasts. They would buy and sell cars, buy them, fix them, have them for a little while, show them, put them in movies or whatever they could do, and then turn around and find owners for these cars.
But describe the power of this particular car that you know.
The power of this car, the Porsche GT3, or the GT alone, is a very powerful car. The Porsche that I used to own, the top speed on that car would do about 172 to 176 miles. That car was $300,000 cheaper than this car. So you can imagine the speed that this car had. Minimum speeds of 240 miles an hour. Were they doing that speed up the street? No way.
Now, were Paul's daughter and girlfriend here at the time of the accident?
Paul Walker and his girlfriend, I thought that it was Paul Walker's assistant. When I met her, everybody kept saying that it was his assistant. Later finding out that it was Paul Walker's girlfriend because I stayed behind to look for Roger's son because I knew he was driving around and I didn't know if he had saw the fire or not. Well, he was one of the guys that ran towards the fire, not knowing it was his dad. So I went up to one of the owners from A&E and some of the mechanics for A&E, and I was talking to him, and they were telling me, "Oh, don't worry, it's just the fire from the explosions." And I looked at him. I said, "No, it's not." I said, "Brandon's going to call me. We're going to find out." Right when I said that, the phone rang. Everybody crowded me like I've got right now, and he started telling me exactly what he witnessed, what he saw, that Paul Walker and Roger were definitely in the car when it exploded. and it was definitely a car accident. So I asked him, I said, so are they dead? And he goes, yes, Dad, they are. And when I said that, that's when who I thought was Paul Walker's assistant dropped. She knew, and she just started weeping, weeping and screaming. Richard, one of the owners from A&E, came back up and with Paul Walker's girlfriend, and then they took Paul Walker's daughter off to the side, and you can see her start screaming because this happened.
Who broke the news to him?
I broke the news to everybody there. When I got the phone call, Richard came back from the scene because he came up to the scene. He confirmed it with everybody else with A&E that yes, that they were gone. My heart goes out to Richard because he's such a good guy. He's one of the partners with A&E, and he just lost two of his close friends and racing buddies.
And what was some of Paul's last words to you before he hopped in the car?
Well, Paul said to us, because he was coming back to take pictures with one of the gentlemen standing with us, that his car was in Fast and Furious, and he was going to autograph his car for him. And he goes, hey guys, I'll be back in 5 minutes, so just hang tight.
There are a lot of skid marks and donuts on this road. Is this a road where people are known to drive really fast?
Well, the sad thing is that all these skid marks in this area are from kids driving their cars that either they earned or mommy got for them or daddy got for them, that are high performance Subarus, Mitsubishis, high performance Scions, Nissans, Toyotas, Hondas that they got lowered. They've got all these kids on them, and these kids use this area to drift all the time. And and that's exactly why we have all these tire marks around here. None of these tire marks match the tires to that car that got in an accident. They're all too narrow. The tire on the Porsche is at least a minimum 16 to 18 inches wide. These tire marks are 6 and 8 inches wide.
Jim, I know you've kind of recounted some of this, but tell me why you do not support this drag race thing.
I do not support the drag race theory because when they passed us, there were no other cars around them at all, and there was only one car, and we were listening for it. And when they hit it a little bit, and you can hear their exhaust, there's only one car. It wasn't two cars. Two cars didn't pass us up. I saw them drive by, and I'm going, hey, there they go. And we were trying to get a guesstimate speed about how fast they were going just by listening to their exhaust on their cars, because I was trying to again compare to the exhaust of the Mustang GT and the exhaust of the Ferrari, both cars that I was standing next to.
How fast?
I can't speculate how fast they were going. Were they going over 40? Oh, definitely.
If you had to guess, I mean, how
Oh,
fast?
I'm not going to do that because there's still an investigation going on, and I don't need to throw that out because I wasn't behind the car. Two, I didn't have a GPS in the car, so that wouldn't be right for me to speculate any speed on it.
No, I know with most accidents like this, they always say they kind of look at alcohol as a contributing factor.
Well, I'll say that when this happened, there was a police officer here in Santa Clarita that saw a mob of kids and a group of adults hanging out at a warehouse. He heard that there was an accident. He saw a mob. He came in. First words out of him is there any alcohol here? Is there any minors drinking alcohol? Was alcohol involved? And I said, no, sir. Nobody was drinking. All there is water and Starbucks. Was anybody drag racing? No, nobody was racing here. I said, there's a hybrid patrolman when you pull out of the parking lot. And even he saw the hybrid patrolman there. So he says, would you guys like to tell me what happened? Did anybody see anything? And I told him, that they took the car out for a joyride. It was an innocent drive. They were gone for a little while. They were driving their car, and I told them exactly. I heard two booms. It sounded like a tire blowing up, and I said, I know it was a car hitting a pole or something. And he said, do you remember the name of the driver? And I said, yeah, Roger Rodas, the owner of always, A&E. And I said, the other passenger, he goes, what was his name? I said, Paul Walker. And he almost passed out. He goes, what? He goes, I'm a car enthusiast. He goes, what do you mean? I said, it was Paul Walker, the movie star. Was